Welcome back to the official Atari Games podcast. This is Jason here, joined by two. How many times has it been? I don't know. It's been a few times, though. Both of these gentlemen have joined me before. And this is an exciting one because we're going to talk about some golf. We're going to talk about Golden Tee, a legendary IP and delivered to consoles and PC like only Digital Eclipse can do. So without further ado, we're joined by Calvin Vu, producer on Golden Tee Arcade Classics at Digital Eclipse. Calvin, welcome back.
Happy to be here, Jason. Good to see you.
And also joined by Jason Cirillo, who on this title, engineer and artist on Golden Tee Arcade Classics, also at Digital Eclipse. Welcome back, Jason.
Thank you.
And yeah, before we get into the game, we're going to play it. If you're not on the YouTube, then we'll walk you through it, best we can through audio. But if you go to YouTube, you get to see the game in action, see me be horrible at golf, and ultimately make a judgment whether I'm better or worse at Golden Tee or playing golf for real. So, review the podcast. I think I forgot to say that a while, but hey, if you haven't done it and you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or any other service where you can review the podcast, that is always appreciated. Join the Atari Club on Discord. Check the news. We've been announcing a whole bunch of stuff. We just announced the Mortal Kombat. Is it the Legacy Collection? I believe that's the title. Right? You guys can correct me on that.
Yep.
And that's come from Digital Eclipse. We'll have a podcast about that later. I assure you. I've already kind of teed it up, but just a little. You'll have to wait a little longer for that. We also announced Adventure of Samsara, which you can watch the last episode of the podcast if you want to deep dive into what that's all about. Episode 53, it's real, everybody. And I like the meme. I kind of like how this has become a recurring gag. Still reading all the guesses and reading even some cynicism saying that, it's never going to come out. It will come out. It will come out. Keep guessing. I enjoy it. But so far, you're all wrong. And last on the list of things to cover, it's the reason for this episode. It's Golden Tee. It's available for pre-order and wish listing on your platform of choice. That'll be coming out July 17th for digital and October 24th for physical. I believe. Do you have consoles on that physical, Calvin? Should probably wrote that down.
Consoles are going to be PlayStation 5 and Switch.
There you go. Love a good golf game on the go. My favorite Vita game, one of my favorite portable games, was the Hot Shots Golf on Vita. What a game. What a game. Before we get into this, do you guys have a personal favorite golf game outside of Golden Tee, of course? Maybe it is Golden Tee.
I'm partial to Mario Golf myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific one?
I like the one on the Game Boy Color. That was sort of nostalgic for me. Fan of that one.
Yeah, the RPG. That was peak.
Mm-hmm. I guess a little off the beaten path, but also RPG. Golf Story, surprisingly good.
Oh, yeah. Golf Story. But yeah, Golf Story. That was the Switch early. Was that launch title? It was pretty close to it.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game does kick ass. Solid choice. Solid recommendation. And now we're going to talk about another solid recommendation, and that is Golden Tee. So let me do my quick little jotting of the number here. That would be, what are we at here? 340, let's say 350. Bam. And look at this. We are looking at Golden Tee Arcade Classics. I have not had much time with this. I tested it out. I see it plays, and it does play with the trusty Stadia controller, as all games should, right? Stadia controllers, never forget. So fellas, I'm gonna ask you, where do I start? Which one of these games is the one to begin? And if you're not watching on YouTube, we got Golden Tee 3D Golf, Golden Tee 97, Golden Tee 98, Golden Tee 99, Golden Tee 2K, Golden Tee Classic, and absolutely not golf game Shuffle Shot, and World. Does that say Clint? What is that?
World class bowling.
World class. Okay, got it. World class bowling. I am like far from the screen that I'm playing on, so be kind. And it's written in script. The script. No one writes script anymore. All right, where do I start?
Well, I would say if you haven't played much, it might be good to back out of this and go check out the practice mode section that we've introduced with this game. So in practice mode, we've put together a few shot choices for I think courses that we think are good ways to practice and kind of get familiar with controls. We've introduced a different type of control scheme to kind of adapt the Golden Tee games to be played on modern hardware consoles. If you're not familiar with Golden Tee, the franchise, they're actually traditional arcade machines, and their method of input is with a trackball. And there's a few buttons on the machine: turn left, turn right, start. But the main point of interacting is with this large trackball that's just built dead center, and that's just probably a very unique component of how they make their games, and also I think a reason why these games haven't really come to modern consoles at all. So making that adaptation to go from how do you play a game that's built for trackballs and make it playable on console gamepads, controllers, that type of front was sort of like the big challenge before we got into any of this. And Dave, our lead engineer, project lead, has been putting a lot of work into trying to tackle that problem with the help of the team, and he's come up with this a really cool solution that involves this trackball representation UI element, and you kind of manipulate it with a few different control configurations to replicate the feel of what you would be doing on the actual arcade cabinet. So right now you're kind of playing through it. I could tell that the mode that you have on is aim assist. This is a mode where you kind of use your joystick to pick the direction and intensity that you want to pull the trackball in either direction, and then kind of like let it fly. That if you go to player profiles in the pause menu where you're at right now, you kind of see a different profile breakdown of the different input modes that are available to you if you're playing on PC. So professional is actually the one that I think started it all, and we've gone through so many iterations of it. You could also see that there's different trackball skins that we've made, and hand types for what would interact with the trackball. A few of those are done by a very good Jason Cirillo right here. But yeah, the team has been all kind of working together on this and making this interactive game feel good for the console experience. So yeah, you shift over to professional right now. That's kind of the mode where we started it all, where you actually do control a hand that goes over the ball. And this is probably most like true to form of what playing on the arcade cabinet would be. It's also probably the hardest way to play this game, but it also is the most, personally, I feel rewarding. Like when you have like the most control and the most like the ability to execute technically complex shots by playing in this mode. It just takes a bit of practice and finesse, which is why you're in this practice mode and kind of getting a feel for it right now.
It seems, wow, that I was doing so well hitting shots. It seems like is there a maximum power that you can hit when you're in the assist mode versus when you're in professional mode? Like, can I hit further if I'm in the professional mode?
No. You will be able to do the most like forward and back in either mode. There's going to be some complexities that you can't really quite achieve in aim assist mode, just on like how the ball is kind of like turning when you use the hand like that. But they're very, very close.
Oh, there we go. Finally pulled off one of the curves. I forgot what it's called. Like the
slice.
When you like slice it like that or hook it like that. Well, the one is a good thing. I'm talking like having the curve to the ball when you hit it, but intentionally so. Not a slice as like a bad thing, right?
No, I think slice is to the right. Is the ball goes to the right. If you're a right-handed golfer, then the slicing is an angle to the right. Hook is an angle to the left, I believe.
Got it.
And you could actually, if you pull up the pause menu, we have a how to play that would appear if it was the first time you went into the game. And it kind of breaks down the whole way to interact with it, and also the different type of shots that you could take.
Got it. Very cool. Yeah, I think it's two really good options. Well, there's more, right? Because there's also, let's see here. Let me go
Yes,
back
yeah.
to player
As far as
profiles,
input modes, depending on
mouse, trackball.
depending on the platform that you're playing on, different things will be available. Mouse and trackball appear on PC, and they are the recommended input modes if you actually have those peripherals, right? Like if you're actually playing with a mouse, you're actually playing with a trackball, hopefully Atari trackball, then you could choose that mode. If you're playing on Switch, for example, you'd also see a touchscreen input mode, and if you're playing on a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, you'll see a touchpad input mode. So different ways to play with this game, and really kind of like trying to bring home that experience of like actually manipulating a trackball, whether you have an interface that lets you do it closely, or if you're just doing the traditional two thumbsticks approach that's kind of more common on Xbox or Stadia controllers.
That's right. It's critical that you grab your Stadia controller. Now I jumped into I kind of dodged the question to follow up now that I'd done some practice and I could hit the ball. I just kind of jumped into play 97 because I think that's the Golden Tee I'm most familiar with and I've probably played the most. It's just I look at it and it immediately hits me right in the nostalgia. So for you guys, I want to know, like, what is your background with Golden Tee prior to working on the game? Jason, we can start with you.
I definitely played some Golden Tee in the 90s with a group of my friends. I think I was still in college. Yeah, I was. Yes. Yeah, I was. And, it was at the bar, as I believe it probably was for most people. But yeah, it was a mainstay at the bar that we used to go to. This is way on the East Coast back when I was there. But yeah, we played quite a bit. I honestly don't recall which one it was. To be frank, I don't remember what version of the game it was, but I do remember playing a lot of Golden Tee with my friends back in those days. It was just it's definitely a bar game. So
yeah, it's definitely one of the bar games, right? Like, it's an easy social thing to.
I mean, it was. It wasn't the only place you could find it. But for me, that was just my experience. But yeah,
look, I remember the local bar in my town. All right, there was two things. There was it was called Rick's Club America. All right, look it up, Congers, New York. That's where you'll find it. Okay, and they were known for their ribs, but also at the front when you were waiting, they had a pinball machine and they had a Golden Tee game, and the pinball machine was like this whitewater rafting game. And I need to talk some smack about this game for a moment because this game is one of these pinball games that just shot the ball right down the middle. And if you weren't perfect at hitting the ball, then you would just lose every time. It felt rigged. It felt rude. Thank God Golden Tee was there. That's my rant about. So how dare you, Ricks, but your ribs were good and your barbecue sauce was good. Anyway, Calvin, what about you?
Late 90s Golden Tee. I was too young for the bar back then, so it was a similar experience to what you just mentioned right now, Jason. It was some local restaurant that my family would go to on occasion, and it would be there in the front waiting area. And I would hop on it a few times just to kind of play it. But honestly, man, I was terrible. This game is really good at taking your quarters and really, really punishing on the arcade machine if you don't pick it up.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah,
nice. How about that chip in?
Playing it. Nice chip in. Love a good chip in. Yeah, happy to have this game here now, being able to play it at home, the joy of not taking quarters out of my pocket. It's a good change.
Yeah.
Yeah, every so often, because of the Atari roots, when we're at a convention or something like that, every so often I'll try to charge people a quarter per play. They're not really having it though. So, maybe one day I'll be able to swing that. Pun intended? I don't know. Jason, what was as one of the engineers on the project, what was the biggest challenge in adopting the trackball controls to controllers?
Well, as Calvin mentioned, this was really a big lift from our engineer, Dave Reese, and he's just kind of a controls genius. He's worked on uncountable number of Digital Eclipse titles, and gotten a lot of games that were not designed for console to feel good on console. So I just want to make sure that Dave gets a lot of credit for that, because he really is just brilliant with it. But I'd say that the biggest challenge, of course, was that a trackball is such a unique input method. It's an analog, input method for the most part. And nothing like it really exists, especially on console. The other half of that challenge is that I think that particular control, the trackball, is really what makes Golden Tee so much fun, because it really is a skill-based game. There's really no tricks to it. You just have to be good at it. You have to be able to manipulate that controller skillfully in order to be, to be a good player. So translating that unique input method to console and PC, especially console, was just, obviously that was a big challenge. And, we're well aware of that. And we all know that this is what makes Golden Tee so much fun. So we didn't take it lightly, and we didn't rush it. And we, really focus tested it a lot. And we wanted it to feel good just as much as anybody else does too, so we really have put a lot into trying to translate that trackball feel over to a controller. And with the different methods that we have, I think we've done a really good job. The one that you're using, the professional mode, it's actually my favorite.
Same.
It feels like a trackball, like it, like you put the hand down by holding the button, and then like you can lift it up and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. You can manipulate the trackball any direction, as much as you want, as little as you want, as fast, as slow. I mean, it's actually pretty good. I think people were skeptical at first, that some of the people in the office who maybe weren't on the project, who had seen it for the first time. But we iterated a lot on it and dialed it in. And I think we really have a really good input method for our console version of Golden Tee.
Yeah. By the way, if you're not watching the YouTube video, be sure to watch my faces as I make bad shots, because there's a lot of those. Yeah, I 100% agree. It absolutely does feel like somehow, even though it's not there, it does actually feel like you are pulling a trackball and pushing it forward. And that was often, like, even if you go back, what was the Microsoft, the game on Xbox, that Lynx, right? I played the hell out of that game. And that also had that, pull back, push forward type system versus the triple clicks that I think you found prior to that. Maybe Tiger Woods did that as well. But there was something about the feel for Lynx. Now, it became a little easy because it would tell you exactly the markers on where to hit for the power versus the total distance of any of your of where you want to go. So it made things a little too easy, but it just, that fun factor of pulling it back and pushing it forward. And with this, it's like, yeah, do I need to put the absolute full force on my thumbstick? Probably not, but it still just feels right and feels really cool to do.
I think a big part of that really is because you have the graphical interface on the screen of the trackball.
True.
So that's a big part of it. I think, that really does make a huge difference, because it is so, it's accurate, like it spins the way you would expect it to spin. It does feel like you're actually rolling that ball on the screen. And I think that helps a lot. So it's kind of a combination of, the control mechanism, how it's designed and implemented, but it's also that that UI element on the screen as well. So it really helps a lot.
Was that was there in the original game as well?
It was not on the screen. No, that's actually on the control panel of the machine. So
yeah,
that was not overlaid on the screen. But
that's awesome.
We overlay it here so that you have, because we're trying to give you the most one-to-one representation of the game as we can, and that's a big part of it. So yeah, we just overlay it on the screen so that you can see it.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's why I was just wondering. And of course, like, you see it in real time because you're pushing it and you feel it. But you're absolutely right. That visual connection is there.
Yeah.
And now I've chosen the eyeball, which I feel like will help my play.
That was a great shot. But very good use of the sand wedge there. Very nice.
Very crisp.
But that's a great example of how that trackball does, like, you can really manipulate it the way you would a real trackball. It's just pulling it back a little bit and then going, forward faster to chip it. I mean, it's like it feels the way it should.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was
Calvin,
a really
you have-
good way to kind of recreate that feeling of like learning the skill, learning the skill of interacting with it, like you would in the arcade. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
And
Do
yeah,
you
we
have
went through so much iteration on this control scheme and how it looks and where it appears. So many different takes. Like it took actually a while for us to come to this UI should be right next to where the T is, right, like real close to the player. We had in like different areas before, and we ended up having to do some hacking to clear out the space on the screen to have this be here. But like where it is now, looking at you play it, it feels so right and natural. Like that's where you want that type of interface to be. Should also call out we have an overlay mode, which is one of the triggers. Yes, there you go. Which
there we go.
is also an option to let you see it a little bit more and also get presented with the different types of like swings you could take.
Oh, what was that? That was a mulligan. Oh, right.
That
Oh,
was
we'll
the
get into that. Yeah.
Mulligan feature.
What?
Yes.
Give me the mulligan button because I need it.
The mulligan button, I believe, is right trigger. You only have a max of 3 at the moment. I think we're going to be kind of playing around with different numbers that you can play with there. But yeah, that's a feature that we totally helped add in. Forgot who on the team came up with. I think it was an early idea during
That was Dave.
pre-production. Yeah, but
Dave's the MVP.
Yeah.
He really
Dave
is.
does everything. Yeah.
He really
Dave's
is.
MVP. Yeah. Yeah. Always
Oh,
wanted to
God.
have this kind of ability to do it, and Dave figured out a way to, create dynamic saves and make this mulligan system work, which is something you absolutely could not do on the original games. But yeah, you take a shot and you feel like you don't like the results of it, you can hold down a button and proceed through that kind of like animation on the UI icon that Jason Cirillo created here. And
See, I did it once.
you-
I think this is where the
like that.
Stadia controller is getting the better of me. So I think, oh well, what are you gonna do? I'll just get out of there like a champ, right into the. Oh no! Yeah, I'm out of the woods. All right, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish this hole out of spite, and then I'm gonna jump over to another game. I have to.
Look at this.
No!
Oh.
I'm going for the record. This is good. This is good stuff.
It's going to be one clean ball, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You think it's the same ball?
No,
Have you played golf?
I have.
You think you hit it in the water? You got to go get it.
You got to go get it, don't you? Don't you just get in there?
That's one way to do it. All right, let's go to the game selection here. All right, so that was 97. Which one? Do you guys have a personal favorite?
97 is
2K.
probably the most played. I like 2K and Classic. Classic is basically 3D golf, just a little cleaner looking. 2K is fun too.
I think the big difference between the Golden Tee games is really the courses.
Yeah,
Like the mechanics are mostly the same, right?
Actually,
But the environments and the courses and all that stuff. So
yeah. There's
Even
some
visually.
minor differences on how like information's like presented to you between turns, but
yeah, there's little.
in general,
little
it's
differences.
very very similar.
Can we get into the weeds here? I'm very curious about this. How do the physics work in these games?
Oh,
Do you have any
How did the
explanation of that?
physics work?
Yeah, like what is actually driving the physics? Because it's like, what kind of engine is this running on? That it's obviously, their own thing, right? So,
I mean, physics
how
is
does
just
the 3D physics works? Like, for example, right? I don't think if I hit the ball if I'm putting, for example, I think that's when it's most noticeable.
Mhm.
If the ball touches the pin,
Mhm.
it'll go in no matter what, right? Like you can't really overshoot
You can.
a ball. You
Yeah.
can? I've
Yeah.
never seen that
Yeah.
happen. That's
I've
why I
done
was
it.
wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
humble brag. Yeah, no, I've done it. That's the Mulligan feature at its best.
Yeah. I mean, physics is just good coding, good programming. If it's for the original developers of the game, it's there's how they did it. I don't know, but it's all in the code, really.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Don't know if you had much of a peek into like how that stuff is actually functioning, because we just talked about that this is a game that's been out since, I don't know, when was the first one? When did the first one come out? If 97 was 97 or 96, right? Then
I mean, physics in video games has existed for a long, long, long time. Just some more sophisticated than others, but really it's just a bunch of algorithms and formulas. uh, I think this game does it particularly well for a golf game.
yeah,
But yeah,
sure.
it's just good programming.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, fair enough. Sometimes there's a simple answer. Also, my Stadia controller ran out of battery. How about that? Failure. That's why I just stopped moving. I was like, what is happening here?
I hope you're not replacing it with another Stadia controller.
No, I got an Xbox One controller.
Okay.
There we go. Let's see here. Back to the game. Sometimes these things happen. All right, we're back to it. Now, will it make it easier or harder? And is this the controller with the stick drift? We'll find out, because there's definitely some controllers here with some stick drift going on. See, like there, I feel like I launched it, right? And like magnetized to the hole.
No,
so I guess that's why I asked the question.
That was a good putt, man. That was a really good putt.
Yeah, you're just being nice.
I think, a lot of games have a little bit of intentional slop put into, the way that
I like that term.
The physics. It's a term, right? It's something that we say, but it's like a little extra fuzziness, to kind of make things seem maybe a little less difficult, or a little more real.
Yeah, because like fun is not ultra realistic. Sometimes a lot of games that are simulators have to kind of play that line of like, yes, it feels like the real thing to a point. Some points of like ultra realism just can become like really, really frustrating, and kind of like giving leniency to the player about like you're not actually standing there with the putter in your hand, right? You're holding a controller that has like a thumbstick, so, or you're trying to spin an arcade ball, trackball at a bar. So, trying to find that balance of physics that feel real and physics that feel fun. I feel like this game does it very well.
Oh my gosh!
Maybe I'm just a great putter then, because I just nailed a 52-foot putt.
That was like a ridiculous putt, and I think this is a testament. Now you haven't played this really before. Really. With our control scheme, and you're using the professional one, and you just made a 52-foot putt.
I'm really good at this game.
And we did not add any on our side. We didn't add any kind of like slop or anything like that. So like that was just a good putt. You know what I mean? So the control scheme's pretty good.
Also, a testament to the control scheme, right? Like for Jason to be able to pick it up and play it with not playing it that well, still able to execute really technically hard shots.
I like your tone. For Jason to be able to pick it up, he sucks.
Yeah, right. If Jason's able to do this, like, we might need to go back to the drawing board.
Exactly. Make it harder. Make like super pro mode.
Yeah.
I think it's fun though. I mean, of course. I mean, it's Golden Tee. Golden Tee in itself is fun. It's an iconic arcade fixture, right? Or a bar fixture, and it's just, and like you guys have nailed it from a control standpoint. It just feels great. And if you're worried, like I would almost be, I don't want to, talk any smack about the Switch, but I feel like with the smaller analog sticks, it would probably be a little bit more challenging than with the extra travel of the Xbox controller, Stadia controller. So it's nice, and I think probably for portable play, if I'm on a train or on a bus or something that may not be as stable, my fingers might wobble around a little bit. It's nice to have that other option for a more laid back experience. So I do like that as well. Or you can even, I mean, the cool thing is as well is that you can just switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. Like between the games, I could do that and easily just say, oh, you know what, this shot, I really want to make sure. Well, I guess that would be cheating. But if you want to cheat,
not cheating.
Not cheating. It's different control mode.
I
mean, Amos is
I finally missed one.
There you go. Yeah, talking all that. I mean, Amos's might come off as like easier, but it doesn't make the game like the challenge of the game any less so, right? You just
No.
might the ability to like aim and shoot, draw back, and go forward is a bit more binary in that mode, which I think equates to it feeling a little bit easier. But Golden Tee is still challenging, especially when you get late in the holes, like late into a course. Some of these get really, really challenging if you're trying to play the power game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything? What are we missing? What are some things that people can be on the lookout for?
Let's talk a little bit maybe about some of the options and stuff.
Yeah, please.
So we do have our screen modes and bezels, which are kind of a staple in stuff that Digital Eclipse does. So we have a pretty nice filter for like CRT, TV, curved TV. I like this one. If you go to TV curved, if you could do that, turn the border on and maybe pull that back up. I want to point out something really cool about this. The eagle-eyed amongst us may have already noticed, but there are dynamic reflections on the bezel. So you will see that the video of the screen itself is actually reflected on like the plastic bezel, the black bezel around the screen.
Yeah.
And that's dynamic. It's a really great effect, and does make it really feel like an actual CRT arcade machine. So that's something that we're particularly proud of. It's a really good looking filter / mode, whatever. And then
just authentic.
Yeah. We also have let's see. Under game modifications, I think that we give the player access to like the dip switches that you might find in the arcade machine. So for those that don't know the term, a dip switch was sort of like a hardware option in arcade machines, literally the little switches on the board that would change things like lives or, things like that. And here you can change the maximum strokes, use timeout seconds, and the skill level. So some, fun things to fiddle with in there. From the main menu, I think we also have a gallery. It's not a super robust gallery. This is more of just sort of a pure game collection, but we have the arcade flyers for the various machines in here as well.
Oh, cool.
Kind of fun to peruse.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very much a reflection of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back when graphic design was interesting.
Lots of beveled gold, Times Roman,
Yep.
Every font. Can
Yeah.
we get more fonts? Is this a little Comic Sans? Am I seeing some Comic Sans in here?
I don't think it's a Comic
Sans.
Sans.
I don't think it's Comic Sans.
It's not Comic
The
Sans,
all new
but-
courses?
Yeah, that's not
in the
Comic Sans.
style.
You kind of see an evolution too of the design as well,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
like of the era. It's a beautiful thing. I
Yeah.
like it. That's awesome.
So that's kind of cool. And yeah, so aside from the 6 Golden Tee games, we also have 2 other games from Incredible Technologies that ran on the same hardware. And we've included these as well.
Same trackball controls. So
Essentially, but it's the same control, but not the same way to control. So, you have to be careful, for example, in bowling, that you don't just sort of push the ball too slowly forward because you'll foul. For example, you cross over the foul line.
Yeah, you're still using a trackball, but the
way you
way
handle
the
it.
trackball controls it is a little bit different, depending on the game mode that you play.
Yeah.
Also, like in bowling, turn left, turn right is actually modifying curve,
Okay.
or
Got it.
English, I would say.
Oh, that was close.
I'm glad we put these games on there because these are, they weren't distributed quite as widely as Golden Tee was, so they will probably be new for a lot of our Golden Tee fans, which is kind of cool. There's a couple of new things to discover and have some fun with.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The shuffle
They're
shot
also
is kind
both
of neat.
really fun they're really fun
Yeah.
for what they are, right?
Yeah.
They're shuffleboard simulators and bowling simulators, and it's just like those games are just so approachable.
Yeah. This one's cool because it's basically 4 games in one. And again, it's another game that I don't think I've ever seen one of these machines in real life. I'm sure some people have, but I personally haven't. But this is a favorite. Like, I've always enjoyed playing this game. There's a bar actually not too far from where I live that has one of these, like a real physical one, and it's
wow, you got a ringer on your first try.
Look at that! Look
at
that!
this.
Oh yeah,
it all goes to hell now. Yeah. It all goes to hell now. Oh man, I've actually, now that I think about it, I've never seen this game. I've only seen the one, like the physical version of this.
The physical game is a lot of fun. It's a really, really fun game. And I feel like, this, given the trackball, it feels like it, Feels like the real thing.
Yeah. That was actually a pretty good move. I was actually worried I was going to knock myself off there, so that actually worked out quite well.
I'm terrible at this game, and it's like you're playing better than I've ever played. It's just like seeing the computer hanging in there. It's trying to scale with you.
And like that. Oh, okay, this is just round 2. Well, I won that first round. Pretty good at this game. Go figure.
What the heck?
What's that?
This computer's ruthless.
Yeah, not for long. Bam!
Ooh, look at that.
Be jealous, Calvin. Next time I see you in person, we'll have to make this happen. We'll have to.
I am intimidated by your first time playing shuffle shot skills.
Yeah, another one. Oh man,
maybe this is another testament to the control schemes.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm also not using the pro controls. I'm using the kind of basic controllers now. So
aim assist.
I think for this game, you really want to use the pro control.
Yeah. Oh, wrong one.
You don't have to, but I just feel like
it says I'm on professional. It says I'm on professional. All right, maybe I don't know what's going on here.
No, you're not on professional. You're on aim assist for sure. Oh wait, well now you're on professional.
Now you're on professional for sure.
Because
you picked 2-player, and I think you're controlling both. So it's interesting to mention this that if you have 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, each player can have their own profile. So if you want to play professional and you have someone on your couch next to you who wants to use aim assist, that will automatically switch between the 2 players as you go.
I got to get the. So yeah, I can't use the hand.
That may be something that we're still working on.
Work in progress, everybody.
And I say that I'm pretty sure that might be that's the case because Shuffle Shot and World Class Bowling, the way that the control talks to the game is a little different. I think Dave might still be working on that, but all the Golden Tee games are currently functional.
Got it. Yeah, just professional podcast. Don't question it. It's great. Anyway, this is awesome, guys. I don't know how much more there is to say about the games. Anything that we're missing here that you want to call out? Because it's from what I could see, it's awesome. It's Golden Tee. If you're expecting it, it's
Golden Tee.
It's Golden Tee, and there's not really much else to say. And that's probably like one of the best compliments you could give to playing something like this, because I think it's very easy for doing the translation from arcade to console and just completely falling on its face. And this is the exact opposite. So well done.
It's Golden Tee from the comfort of your couch or chair or wherever you choose to take your gaming with you.
Yeah, or the bar. You could bring it to the bar and play Golden Tee on your Switch.
You could do that
while you're waiting your turn in Golden Tee on the arcade cabinet.
Think of that. You could basically bring Golden Tee to any bar that you want, even if they don't have it. True. You can bring it anywhere. I'm sure someone is wondering this, so I'll just answer it. Yes, you can actually use a real trackball.
Oh.
If you have
that is critical.
Yeah, if you have a trackball for your computer, plug it in. We have a good feeling input mode. And I guess that's something else to add to that is we put a lot of thought into ways to interact with this game depending on the platform that you're on, right? So PC, mouse, trackball, gamepad, those all work. And Switch touchscreen and touchpad on PS5 and PS4. All of those have been made with care, so you could really, really get the feel of this game and the unique ways to interact with it depending on the platform that you're playing it on.
Yeah, that's huge. That's critical. Do you guys, so you're telling people, well, it's too late because this will come afterwards. So insider trading on trackball manufacturers. You're saying buy because the sales are about to explode.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if this game is going to be.
This game is going to blow up the market of trackballs. Get them now before they become rare on the black market, or you just.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I'd say that people will at least definitely will start looking at eBay for some used trackballs. I definitely think that will happen. But
get in there early. Get your trackballs, everybody. Get ready for Golden Tee. It's coming out very soon. Very soon. Very excited. All right. Well, with that, I think it's time. I made you guys a promise. I said I'm going to make you guys play some dumb games. So that's what I'm going to make you do. I'm going to make you play one dumb game of trivia that I have prepped here. It's Golden Tee themed. It's the first time I've done anything like this, but I'm very excited to make you endure it. So here we go. You ready? This is a game that I don't really have a title for it, but basically you're going to tell me, it's kind of a take on the on my game that I've done with called What's on the Box. I don't know if I've made either of you guys play that before, but What's on the Box is quite simple. You are I will basically give you a quote from the back of a video game box, and you would tell me what game that is. Now, I've made this a little simpler. This is, and because Golden Tee was never in a store, rather, I have a bunch of quotes here, and you're going to tell me if this is the back of a Tiger Woods box or Golden Tee promotion of any kind, or neither. Now, if for any of these examples, if you get it right and tell me the exact title, you'll get 2 points. If you just get the basic one of those three options, you'll get 1 point. All right? You'll each have a chance for each round. Actually, you know what? Let's make it more interesting. We are going to make sure somebody gets a point every round. All right? So that means if you both get it wrong, third person gets then you get a gimme. All right? If you remember, I'm not going to remind you. So let's go in alphabetical order by first name. So Calvin, you'll go first. The first quote is 8 new courses to conquer. That's kind of an easy one. 8 new courses to conquer. What's that?
8 new courses to conquer.
Is it Tiger Woods, Golden Tee, or neither?
Tiger Woods.
That's correct. Now, you could tell me, which Tiger Woods do you think that's from? If you get that right, you get 2 points instead of 1. You could just give me a year, by the way.
I was going to say, like this, it's like Madden football. It's like,
yeah,
that's right. That's what makes it fun. It's ridiculous. I mean, that's the fun part about these games. They're not really based on knowledge, which is why I like playing them.
All right. Yeah.
Anybody could yell out answers into their headphones or at their computers.
Yeah, 2003 is what I'll say.
No, but you're close. It would be 2005. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005. All right, Jason.
Not my most favorite Tiger Woods PGA Tour.
Do you have a favorite?
No, I do not.
Yeah? All right. No. Okay, Jason, next one. Everyone plays, anyone can win.
That's
Tiger
neither.
Woods, Golden Tee, or neither?
Neither.
What's that?
Neither.
No. Calvin.
Golden Tee.
No. Jason, for the gimme.
I guess Tiger Woods.
That's right. Do you want so what would the year be?
2008.
So close. That is 2009. Tiger Woods PGA 2009. We are neck and neck. All right, Jason, this is a great one. Feel the drama. Feel the drama. Tiger Woods, Golden Tee, or not?
Me?
Oh, sorry, Calvin.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's Calvin.
Oh, what? Oh, it was me?
Yeah,
Tiger
feel
Woods.
the drama. What was that?
Tiger Woods.
That is correct. What year?
2008.
No, that would be 2010. All right, Jason, here we go.
Okay.
Golf without limits.
I'm gonna say neither.
That is correct. What game is this from? And I'll give you a hint.
Uh-huh.
It's a golf game.
Oh, okay, good.
Because it does say golf without limits. There's your hint.
Everybody's golf.
No.
Okay.
I was so happy to include this one. And this is actually when EA decided that they didn't want to make Tiger Woods games anymore. So this is Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour.
No. What do you mean without
No
limits?
year.
Come on.
No year. Yeah, without limits.
It's just golf. You're limited to a golf course.
Yeah, you're limited to the rules.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
well,
like, this is going to be some crazy space thing or wacky characters. It's like golf without limits. You're on a golf course with golf clubs and a golf ball. That's fairly limited.
No, this is golf street.
Jeez,
They only get better. Here we go, Calvin. Dominate the world.
Neither.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Jason.
No.
Tiger Woods.
That is correct. Which one?
Oh, come on.
Which one?
2002.
Incorrect. It's 2004. That is actually something that they say on the back of the box of Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004.
Man,
it's insane.
That's desperate.
All right. Here we go, Calvin. Call out your rivals. Tiger Woods, Golden Tee, or neither.
Interesting. I'll say Golden Tee.
That is incorrect. Jason.
I'm going to say neither.
Incorrect. Calvin.
The Gimme of Tiger Woods.
That is correct. What year?
I'm going to do an educated guess. If it was Dominate the World in 2004, maybe it was Call Out Your Rivals in 2005.
No, that would actually be in 2006. They decided to call out your rivals. This is my favorite.
World Domination 2-year break.
This is probably my favorite one here. All right. The best looking and most fun playing golf game of all time, says Paul Johnson of Sports Magazine.
I'm going to say Golden Tee.
Incorrect. Calvin.
Come on.
Tiger Woods.
Incorrect. Jason.
Oh.
Neither.
That is right. What is the game?
Oh, God. Say the quote again. The best looking game of all time?
I'll read the whole thing. This is exactly what it says on the back of a box of a thing.
Okay.
The best looking and most fun playing golf game of all time. And then there's a little hyphen. Paul Johnson, Sports Magazine.
God, I mean, there's thousands of golf games that have been made.
I know, right? Makes it fun.
Oh, God. I don't know. PGA Tour, something or other. I don't know.
Calvin, you want to guess? No points, but I just want to know if you want to guess what this game is.
Top Shots.
No. Hot Shots Golf for PS1.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. I said Top Shots. I meant Hot Shots. Yes,
dude, that would have been amazing.
It felt like a PlayStation 1 era quote.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a sports magazine guy. That sounds like a dude that's only played Golden Tee. That's why I guess Golden Tee. But
the whole back of the box is just all quotes.
Yeah. And it's
all
all like PlayStation 1 era graphics. So it's like the introduction of like textures and what?
The ball was a hexagon.
Yeah. It was a very distinct visual style back then, but it blew everybody's mind. It was Star Fox on acid.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they kind of look like people. It's the best game of all time.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one, which is a little odd because it means that if you get this right, we're gonna have a tie on our hands here. But here's the quote: "Score the most points to win."
Is this Calvin?
This is
Yeah.
me.
Calvin,
Neither.
yeah. That is right. That's why I'm like, this kind of, it's unfortunate the way this shook out. What is the name of the game? And Jason, I'll give you a chance if he gets it wrong.
Okay.
And then you can take the victory. But Calvin, you get a chance here. What is the name of the game?
This is a golf game?
Yeah. It's at least, I'll yeah, well, yeah, give it a chance. I'm not going to say anything. If we have to break this tie, I'm going to see if I could help you guys figure out what this game is.
One of the most points to
I'd say
win.
Mario Golf, maybe?
No. All right.
No.
Jason, you have a chance to jump in, and then I'll give my first hint.
Golf for the Atari 2600.
No. Okay. So here's my first hint. This isn't so much. This is golf, but it's more like golf adjacent. Does that help? Now I'm just going to start naming hints until you guys guess.
Who can answer?
Anybody. You guys could throw it out. First person to tell me the name of this game is going to win, and I hope at least one of you knows.
Sounds like miniature golf.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
All right. This game does not involve clubs.
Monkey ball?
No. The core of this game is still very much golf-like. All right, I believe the name of the game that is in here. Let me see how to explain this. Let's see. This game, the game inside of this game, they call it Frolf, but it's not Frisbee golf. It is something else. I don't think you guys will get this. This is a little concerning.
I'm stumped.
All right, let me explain the name. Let me explain everything that happens in this game, and then you tell me if you can give me the title. This is a game where you actually play Frolf, which is actually frog golf, and what you do is you actually hit a frog with a hammer, and then the golf leaps like a golf ball, and that is actually how you participate in this game and play it.
No idea.
I have no idea what this game is.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm sorry. We may just have to end this in a tie. That is a game called Ribbit King.
Never.
And that was from PS2.
Never heard
Ribbit
of it.
King.
Yeah.
What if I told you I knew that game existed and I just needed to look up a quote from the back of the box, and this was the only thing. This was the closest thing that didn't explicitly say that it was Ribbit. Like every line had Ribbit King, in Ribbit King, in Ribbit King, except for this. So obviously it was going to be neither. But there we go. We had some fun. I should have looked up Mario Golf. Actually, Ribbit King came up in my mind to look up before Mario Golf did. So that just shows
that's crazy.
How dumb I know, right? It's weird. It's real
How
weird.
much of a hold Ribbit King has on your brain?
Yeah.
It actually came up recently, and I don't remember why. Every so often, very obscure PS2 games like that, or Mr. Mosquito, or...
At least I know that one.
Oh, man, there's also... You know what else there is? There's actually an Aqua Teen Hunger Force golf game on the PS2.
Wow.
It's got a very weird title, I think. I believe there's some combat in there as well. That would be called.
And I just want to, for the record, say how highly disappointed I am in you that Ninja Golf has not come up at all in this conversation.
I thought Ninja Golf was going to be in this for sure. I was waiting for some reference to shurikens or down kicks or opponents on the course.
I don't know what to tell you. All right.
That's all right.
I am a product of the 90s. Okay. So this is my wheelhouse. I'm more offended that I did. And yes, I work for Atari. Yes, I love Ninja Golf. Well, I love the idea of Ninja Golf. So
Does anyone really love Ninja Golf?
again, I think everybody loves the idea of
Everybody
Ninja Golf.
loves the idea of Ninja Golf.
The idea of Ninja Golf is great. The name is great. So that's that. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me and for enduring that wonderful game that I devised for you. You're both winners, or you're both losers. Either way, you tied. So you can kind of split that however you'd like.
There's no winners here.
There's only ties. Man, 8, and you really just went right down the middle. That's crazy. Okay, next time I will get a tiebreaker in there. But hey, you live and learn. Professional podcast. Because you're both, usually I say the winner gets to give me their plugs first, but I think, are either of you guys on social? I forgot.
Not really.
Not really.
No? Perfect. Then you can find them on the streets. Look for Calvin. He looks like that. Look for Jason. He looks like that. Yeah. Digital Eclipse is on social, so you can find those links below.
That's true.
At Digital Eclipse on, I believe they'll be on Twitter, and they're on Blue Sky. I'll put those links below. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Jays of Doom. All the other links to things I spoke about are at the bottom as well. Review us if you made it this far. That means you probably like the show, so that would be greatly appreciated. Discord, etc. Wishlist, pre-order. Be on the lookout for Golden Tee coming very, very soon. Thanks again, guys. For everybody else, we'll see you on the next one.